it was choppy. The only trade that I did take was the morning trade, and then I took a few trades in the afternoon just for quick scalps. But I did not feel like trading as I expected them, as I covered in the watch list, to go higher and not gap down. And they did exactly that. You know, this is called a pretty pretty nice gap up, and I want to know, what do you guys think about the day today? Did it finish bullish or bearish? And give me 2 reasons why for each.
I feel like it finished kind of bearish. Even though we were at all-time highs, we went up and came back down. And then, like, towards the end of the day, the volume fell off. But I really wasn't watching all day. And I was only watching in queue, so I can't comment too much.
Okay. Anyone else?
I thought it was bullish since they broke out of the bracket and then accepted prices higher.
Okay. But did the day close bullish?
I think it was a bullish close.
Okay. In that class that we did for market profile, there was something that I mentioned about IB when you fail to hold above IB higher, or if you break the IB lower, that it was what? What was it called? You guys remember?
Semi-bullish?
We talked about if you go above, let's say we want to extend it. This is our IB, right? And you're trading here, you go above. What is this called? When I said this is relative also to IB, and I had the screenshot. Do you guys remember what that was?
Oh my gosh, I remember it. I just don't remember what it was called. I remember seeing it.
It was on the bottom right of a page. Does anyone recall the initial balance failed auction? No?
No.
Okay, no, it's okay. So it doesn't happen very often, especially not lately. Last time it happened was 2.5 weeks ago, where they would break the IB in one direction and then they would reverse, right? And they're not able to execute that auction that just started that trend lower, right? Anytime you have an IB extension, looking who can extend the IBs. Let's start logically. Who can extend the IBs?
Other time frame.
Yeah, that means other time frame players are coming in and they believe the value is higher, right? And they want to extend it. Can KJ here cause a spike and extend this? Low odds that all of us cumulatively could do anything here, right? So when you see a breakout above the IB, right, and this is way past it, this is on noon, right, and they do this and then they fail, they're failing to hold, and I'm on 30 minutes, so if you go on 5 minutes, they went above and then they failed. On the PowerPoint slide, it also said if you fail to hold the IB, what's the opposite? What's the target you're going to hit?
The other side.
Always the other side of the IB. That's almost a really, really good rule of IBs. And look exactly what they hit. So, and how much were you really risking here? Let's say you took a short here. Maybe here you took it on the break of the body or whatever, if you played the wicks. If you took it here, how much are you risking here?
Less than 10 points.
Oh, I mean, you're risking max 4 points. And these are the opportunities that you can catch in a day like this, right? If you're taking this trade, and let's say you're targeting something like this, and the IB's here. I mean, 2.59 to 1 on a trade like this. And that's me extending it above the high of the day, right? A little bit. It's not a bad trade to take, right? And it does require a lot of patience. A lot of you guys would have been trailing too close and whatnot. But this trade here would have been nice, right? You're talking about, 19 to 7, right? That's not bad. Right? When the whole range was pretty tight. So you're catching majority of that, and you don't need many of these trades. Okay. So does everybody understand what I'm talking about? IV failed auction. IB, I'm sorry, not IV. I don't know why I said IV.
Yes.
Okay. So this phenomenon doesn't happen often when you're in a bullish trend, but when it does happen like today, it's actually extremely bearish. And I gave you a clue why. If these other time frame buyers tried twice, or maybe even 3 times, right, to go higher and build value, what is it telling you about the buyers?
Not buying up there.
They're exhausted. They're tired a little bit, right? And if you're to trade this, right, tomorrow, let's say, you have your value area here, and as of right now, your value is being what? Like right now, they're rejecting the value, right?
Not accept.
Yeah. So now, if they reclaim it and look, they did a really good job. They bounced right on it. So now if they make a higher high here, which they probably might, there's a high chance you go to 15. You're going to reject here, probably come to 11 and hit 20 overnight. Like, right when you think they might reject this value area that we're in, they're just kind of accepting it back inside. Right? But what they're telling you here is that we have no value and you don't have net new buyers here. So the inventory is pretty heavy on the ask side, right? They're giving them, but there's no aggressive buyers on the market buy. Or if they are, they're being absorbed by limit sellers here. And right now, tomorrow, what I'm playing on is if we can reclaim this in RTH session tomorrow on the PD value area low, especially if, they come in, let's say this level right here between 09 and 0750, so about 1.25. If they can reclaim this zone here, you cannot be bearish again, right? Because what do you think the bears want to do now? Well, if you're a bear, what do you want to see?
Start filling the gap.
Well, one would be start filling the gap, and the second and ultimately is we need to make a lower low on the daily right now. Right? We need to make lower high and lower low, which would be ideal. And right now, you're still making higher highs, right? You're making higher highs and higher lows. If this is your gap, you gapped over that. Excuse me. You gapped over that, and you're just going higher. I mean, if you look at
wouldn't we have to break 52.67
52.67 for what? Sorry.
prior if you're going to be bearish? That
No, yeah, of course. That would be. But the first goal, I said first. I didn't say ideal. First is stop the framing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to slow down the auction, and it seems like, right? I mean, when you look at these candles, they're a little funny, right? When you compare the volume, some stuff doesn't add up, but it doesn't have to, right? They can't just go on forever like this. That's what it seems like. We need to make a lower low on the candle here. We need to crack the low of the day, and then ultimately, right? On the weekly, but like what Bean was talking about. Does everybody understand what Bean was talking about? This level here. Why is this level important? 52.57. Why is it important?
Retest.
Let me hide everything.
It's the split
that the
between the double
breakout point?
distribution of the prior day.
All right, so let's take a look. Let's go in 2 hours so you guys can see it. I'm gonna turn one thing on and it should click for the most.
Wasn't that the prior all-time high?
It was. Yep. It was your bracket that we are in, right? Remember the balance. So This area came in here and set the balance to be at 47, but you had this prior week high that was a poor high, I believe, or this one was, one of the two was. So if you look now, that's your breakout level. If we are trading in balance here, if you're trading in balance here and you break this level, and now you can't sustain price action above it, this is the level that's going to inform you that something drastic changed in the auction itself. If they're not making, higher highs and they don't defend this level, that's pretty bearish, because there's a high chance you're going to be coming back to this X5150 here rather quickly. And we went far, but there's a lot of gaps, I would say, in a couple of profiles, and I would say there's a lot of bad structure below on the daily. The day prior to today, did you guys mark up the single prints there?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks pretty bad.
That's the 71 to 67.50. You've
Hold
got
on.
that single print area up
Yeah,
top.
hold on. I can't because I got wrong things enabled. It should come up here. Yeah, and there's some here, a 71. I think there was another. I think there was a total of 3 set of single prints on this bounce breakout, whatever you want to
Yeah,
call it.
there's some down at, there's some as low as 52.25 to 20-ish or 19-ish.
Yeah,
And
so
then
there's
some
one
at
here, there's one there.
39 to 40
Oh, that's
about.
not it, right? And then some
Oh,
axis
that's
here.
not bad.
What is this? End period? Yeah, this was end. So there's one here. There's some here still. Some here. Some here. I mean, there's a lot of poor structure on this. So if the bears are able to cause some panic now with the exhaustion on buyers, it wouldn't take much to necessarily fill some of these gaps, right? And typically people call this structural fillings, right? Just because the structure of the profile looks very poor, right? Means there's a lot of what? Who's buying this? It's either really aggressive buyers that are, buying at size. And when you look at the footprints, you would see aggressive imbalances there, right? So there's emotional and aggressive buying. And most of the time those get filled, but doesn't necessarily mean immediately, right? But if we were to crack that level, I would say if you start cracking below 57, high chances you visit the weekly, because this will be probably a nice bounce zone. And then ultimately you'll be looking to see if we fill any of these poor structures below. Okay. Any questions on ES? Man, this... So you guys should be okay now on levels between the contract flips. For the most part, you guys should be on the same page. Is there anyone not?
Yeah, it's much better this today.
Yeah, it usually levels out, in a week or so, and then you have the ability to kind of trade it and move on till next 3 months till they switch again. Does everybody know how to differentiate and know responsive versus initiative activity on a chart?
Only the breaks of the IVH or IBL.
Okay.
The wicks.
The VIX is one of them, or buying, selling tails. That's usually a good indication, right? And then if you have those single prints in the middle, that just means that somebody's looking for new value. We had value at 1B, and now, aggressive buyer or seller, depending on where we go, is showing up and creating, a different distribution. But usually you're looking for single prints to be shown, and that indicates that there's other time frame participants coming in. And typically, where do you look for responsive activity to occur?
At the
The
extremes.
bid.
Above or at extremes, or below the lower extreme or at it, right? you're looking to see if the responsible buyers or sellers show up when the price is not fair. And you're looking for initiative activity to occur where? Where would initiative sellers show up? At the top?
Yeah.
So
Initiative
initiative
sellers.
sellers would be here.
No, at the bottom.
Initiative sellers would try to initiate selling at the lower late prices. Responsible buyers step in here. It's normal behavior that you're going to have responsible buyers come in. It's not normal that you're going to have initiative sellers come in. And it's normal to have what here at the top?
Responsible sellers.
Initiative buyers and responsive sellers.
Responsible sellers is expected. You're not expecting initiative buyers, right? And so when you're looking at the trends, right? And a lot of you guys, somebody sent me a question. That's why I'm explaining this. When you're in a strong uptrend like this, you have to believe until they give you a reason not to, whether it was today's profile and a failure on IB, or if they give you market clues that they're not going or not interested higher, you have to believe that they're looking for prices to go higher because for 26 weeks now, we've been making higher highs and higher lows. The odds of you catching the Black Swan event and making $2 million on your 5 SPY puts are very low. You're better off playing Georgia Lottery.
I can attest to that.
Yep. So don't, your job, you do not care. You should not have an emotion because we gap up and run. If you show madness, that tells me that you're on the wrong side of the trade. If you show any emotion, just look at Twitter. Man, this market's irrational. I guarantee you that he got caught short. Right? So as a day trader, you really don't have a preference whether we go up or higher. The only preference I have is that my read on the market and what the market's telling me is correct. For my long term, am I going to go and buy QQQ ETF for my long term hold? No. Right? I will let you guys buy it here. You guys can have it all. I'm not going to compete with you guys. It's all yours. You can buy it here as much as you want. I have zero interest to buy long-term stuff of tech, at least here. But that doesn't mean I'm bearish, right? I'm just not willing to release my cash at all-time highs. Does that make sense? What I'm trying to give you guys, subliminal messages, or
Absolutely.
Yeah.
there's a difference of what kind of investor you are, right? If I'm a day trader, I could, I'm telling you, give a shit whether they want to go up or down. As long as I'm on the right side of that trade, we're going to cheer together, me and the market. But on the long term, if I was to put in, let's say $200,000 long on ES for as a long-term hold, that'd be a little difficult. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. But, if I bought this on a bounce at 41.40 when we had it, right? Where was it? Was it here somewhere? I don't know where it was. Where was it? Was it that far?
Yep.
Oh man,
It's been like at least 10 months, I think.
that's crazy. Well, I can't believe that. I'm sorry.
I might be wrong. I don't know.
I'm lost in the chart.
Yeah, definitely remember that number.
51. Oh, it was here. Yep. If you guys don't remember this number from my Discord, then something's wrong.
Oh, that's why I remember 10 October.
Yeah. I just did not think it was that long ago, man. Wow. So yeah, I mean, if you bought it here, right, that's a different story. You had a reason, you had a setup to buy. What setup do I have here as a volume profile trader or value trader? I don't have any, right? Until I see a pretty good reversal or find a level that fits, right, that I can release my cash. On the long term, I'm bullish, but I'm not a buyer here. for long term. Like I could not sleep at night if I had to do that on this market. So hopefully that makes sense, right? And I was trying to differentiate how you find the responsive activity and who you're expecting to see at those levels at the extremes. Okay. All right, guys, I'll be on tomorrow. I'm gonna trade all day as well. I had really good, I believe, what was it? Today is Thursday. Thursday, yeah. So I had a really good, I believe it was Monday or Tuesday. And I didn't really even have to trade tomorrow, but I'll hop on and I'll trade in the morning and then I'll trade in the afternoon with you guys, and hopefully they give us a little bit better maybe range than they did today, and we'll go from there. And if they give you overnight here, if they give you this, if they fail to hold this PDL tonight, I'm probably gonna leave a stop sell order here and put it a little bit higher on my stop here. You know, if they do it overnight, around 25 points, not gonna give them that much, but maybe put it somewhere above this POC level to protect myself and see what tomorrow brings. But they gotta lose this level, I would say probably 06, and then I'll potentially look to take a short.
Thank you, Shorty. Have a good night.
Thanks,
So you guys,
Jordan.
Thanks.
Bye.